strap in. Feel the hum in your hands. This is 4D. Heat on my palms, grip locked, heart racing. Shoes hit the pedal, whole room shaking. Jersey on my back, hat pulled low and blazing. Every turn I take, got the ghosts I'm chasing. 4D in my veins, feel that fire when I play, when I move, when I break, when I bang through the lane. 4D on my skin, when I lose, when I win, I'm alive in the light of the game I'm in. 4D, 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 it's different.
It is NTT IndyCar race weekend. After a little bit of a break between races, we're now getting into the heart and the meat of the most exciting portion of the season. And you know what that means. When they race, we race first. And it's time for some top split action in the 2026 IndyCar iRacing Series. Hello again, everyone. Happy Saturday to you. I am Gary Gatto, and welcome to round 5 of the 2026 season of the iRacing IndyCar Series for the Saturday Top Split broadcast presented by 4D Racewear, as we come to you today from one of the crown jewels of all of racing, and probably the crown jewel in all of street racing outside of Monaco. It is the streets of Long Beach. As always, joining me for expert analysis in the booth, driver from the Indy Oval Series, one of the top split competitors there, is Antonio Estrada. Also joining me, Ryan Skywalker. Gentlemen, good to have you here. Tony, not too far from your neck of the woods, but a little bit further north of the border. But let's talk about Long Beach. Outside of really Indianapolis, this is like the biggest race that everyone wants to win all season long.
Oh, hello everybody. Gary, good to be here. Ryan, how's it going? Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, this one, everybody wants to win it. And, you know, we can also see that reflected in today's strength of field. It's a whopping 51-14 strength of field, which means that's the average rating of all the competitors that we have here today. So, yeah, you can tell that everybody came here and tried to win this race. I mean, it's such an iconic track. You know, like you said, probably the second most prestigious race in the entire IndyCar schedule, just behind the Indianapolis 500, right?
Yeah, it's great to be back, and one of my favourite tracks on iRacing, and also in real life as well. And just it's steeped in history as well, because you've had so many winners here in the past, from Al Unser Jr. to Paul Tracy to Alex Zanardi, Juan Pablo Montoya. The list goes on, and yeah, it's one of those tracks that I just never get bored of either racing at or even just getting to commentate on.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's also such a technical racetrack. Like, it doesn't really provide you many opportunities where you can mess up, because as typically with street circuits, if you mess up, well, you're in the wall and that's the done. So it's gonna be very interesting to see 85 laps around this place. There are probably going to be a couple of different strategies. I imagine that some folks will opt for a two-stopper strategy, which might be a little bit faster, but maybe some others will roll the dice and go for a three-stop strategy where they can just abuse their tires and try and go really, really fast and see if they can catch up with some of the other guys. We have finished qualifying and we're already reading up, so everybody say we go through the field.
Let's get in that starting lineup for today's event at Long Beach, in the streets of Long Beach. Go right ahead.
All right, pole position, that's for Jaden Munoz. That's a 1:05.6. Crazy fast lap time. He's joined by Peter Berryman on top with a 1:05.69. Just a couple of hundreds slower, but man, those guys are blistering fast. Then we have Christian Hilgard, who's going to be starting third. He's also in the 105 bracket, 105.8 for him. Very, very fast. And then we start seeing the drivers who are on the 106 bracket, which is also crazy fast around this place. We have JT Smeaton, who's going to be starting fourth. Then we have Esteban Rodriguez, who's going to be starting fifth. Daniel Ferguson is going to be starting sixth with a 106.2. Kevin Burrell, the general, joining us from Japan, is going to be starting seventh, joined by Aiden Mateus, who has been making a lot of noise lately, and he's going to be starting eighth. We have Noddy Emil starting ninth, joined by Mitchell Welker, who's going to be starting 10th. Lucas Lodato is in 11th, joined by Nick Thiessen from the Netherlands, who's going to be starting 12th. Jared Curry and Logan Edwards, 13 and 14 respectively. Then we have Alan Breteau, who's going to be starting 15th, joined by Rashad Craig, who's going to be 16th. Olaf de Kinder and starting 17th, joined by Joseph Kurz, who's going to be starting 18th. Sophia Connell is going to be starting 19th, joined by Artur Kasimirski, new name to the broadcast. Happy to have you. Pavel Beer from the Deutschland is going to be starting 21st, joined by Lucas Hahn, who's going to be starting 22nd. And we have Janne Salminen, who's going to be starting 23rd, there from Finland. Joined by Lilac Sear, who's going to be starting 24th. And shotgun on the field, that's Joseph Manning, who's going to be starting 25th as we're getting ready to go green, guys. And green flag's out. Munoz takes
big
no
jump
time.
there. Jade Munoz knows some Peter Berryman's up there, and he's like, I'm not going to let this guy hang around very long.
Oh, very, very close.
Oh! Berryman loses a wing! And he's forgiven!
He gets forgiven, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say through turn 1, 2, and 3, it's pretty much one line, but yeah, I thought there was going to be a bigger incident than that, but look, amazingly, everyone's managed to get through cleanly so far.
Looks like everyone made it through turn 1 on the finish of Shoreland Drive. Alan Berteau started from the pits.
Yeah, Berteau started from the pits, so we see him bringing up the rear right now. It's kind of he was kind of gambling a little calamity there in turn 1 in the fountain, and it just didn't pan out for him this time.
Yeah, and it typically happens, so, you know, that's a fair strategy.
You go back and look at previous races, yeah, there's normally a 2 or 3 car incident, and that just didn't pan out. But again, it just shows you why we have a 5K strength of field today. I mean, the racecraft of these drivers is exceptional.
Yeah, and Hilgard was able to make it by Berryman with that small tap of the wall, but they're all trucking. Munoz P1, Hilgard second, Berryman third. Just to give you guys an idea, Jaden Munoz has a 9,700 iRating. Christian Hilgard 7,200 and Peter Berryman 9,800. That's your current top 3.
Yeah, no slouches here. I mean, effectively,
No.
they could be real race car drivers. And actually, I bet you some of them do some karting on the side. But Munoz still with that pro license from the Pro Series, so he is carrying that over. He's got the black license.
Yeah, that's a very prestigious thing as well.
Munoz, Smeaton, and Estevez, teammates going into the final set of corners here. And JT Smeaton around his teammate and picks up a position.
And also Lucas Lodato was able to make it by Noddy Emil. There's a big battle here as Mitchell Welker decides better of it and lifts a tiny bit. That's going to open the door for Jared Curry behind him. Welker goes defensive.
Welker driving for Fiercely Forward Night right now. He is a two-time Formula Indy Series champion. A series we've covered on the channel since I've covered it since its inception, season, I think season 6 and forward is actually now on our channel, and he is a two-time series champion over there.
Oh, there was an incident. Lucas Hand last time's, when we were at Barber, he was a Mr. Excitement of that race. There was a big wreck between Lucas Hand, Sophia Connell, and Olaf de Kinderen on the hairpin coming back to Shoreland Drive. Those are probably days done for most of those guys, unfortunately.
Now let's see what happened. We're watching Sophie here in the hand-drawn Oracle livery. And I think the car in front of her might... okay. The non-hand-drawn Oracle livery had a problem, and Hand goes into it. So, meeting of the Oracles in the hairpin, and everyone else is coming right around the corner and just piling into one another. So, everyone's losing front wings back there now. I like Zier stays wide, just no place to go. And I don't know if they heard the local caution or just didn't heed it.
I don't know. Honestly, sometimes it comes at you so fast that you don't even have time to react. But it seems to me that they could have had at least a little bit of warning from their spotters. So, yeah, I mean, it's just the nature of the beast here, especially at the hairpin. Just coming back into Shoreline Drive, it's really something that you don't even see what's going on after you make the turn. So, it can catch you by surprise, certainly.
And that's tough to see. Of course, we are fans of Sophie here at the channel. Sophie on our Monday and Tuesday night coverage of the Indy Next Series. On Monday night, it's the Road Series top split. And then on Tuesday night is their Oval Series top split. She's on both those broadcasts with Jacob Collins. Just want to hear her. Check her out Monday and Tuesday nights here on P1. But unfortunately, for Sophie, early day, but watching right now, Jaden Munoz is popping the curves every single opportunity he has and got his car loose there on corner exit, coming out of turns 3 and 5 and 6 area.
Yeah, he's really sending it, and that's kind of the only way that you can make fast lap time here, especially because he hasn't been able to get Hildgaard out of his wake. Like, Hildgaard is still under a second to Munoz. And then the other thing about Longovich is once you catch somebody,
gotta pass them.
Fine. But you need to find a way by them. And then realistically, there are only like 3 good passing zones versus the end of Shoreline Drive here, turn 1, just before coming into the fountain. Here, obviously, Hildgaard is not close enough, so he's not even going to try to do anything. Then you have turn 6, which is a little bit iffy, but if you have a full head of steam and you're faster than the guy in front, it's doable. We'll show you once they come here. They were off of turn 5. This is turn 6. There's a possibility of making that happen.
And then we're at the scene of the crime between Pato O'Ward and Scott Dixon.
Yeah. And, that's typically not a place where you want to make a pass. But here, turn 9, just after this long backstretch, you can make it happen. It's very, very difficult to make it. So, yeah, those are your passing opportunities. So, good luck to the drivers. What are your thoughts, Ryan? What do you think is like the best passing zone here?
From my experience of racing around here, not in IndyCar especially, but maybe other forms of racing, I think the best passing opportunity for me would probably be if you get a good run on the exit of turn 8, going down east seaside way. I think heading down to turn 9, you can possibly make a move, but you've got to be fully alongside to make the move stick, in my opinion. Yeah,
I agree, because otherwise you're gonna get you're either gonna have to lock up the brakes and try not to drive over the guy in front of you, or you might end up driving over him anyway,
Yeah.
and that's gonna be day done for both. So it's a very tricky place in that regard. Mitch
Yeah, I think
Walker is catching up there with. Sorry to cut you off, Ryan. Mitch Walker seems to be catching up there with Nick Peace, and that would be for P10.
We're riding with Christian Hilgard right now, but we'll get back to that battle that you're talking about for P10. Here you go. Decent in the Menards Pagano livery. Haven't seen that one in a while.
Man, Pageant, what a dude.
He has not returned to IndyCar racing since taking that big spill through the kitty litter at Mid-Ohio. And I'm guessing at this point, since we haven't seen him in a while, it might be that he kind of just an unofficial retirement for the former Indy 500 champion.
Yeah, he's working with Cadillac, though. He's their team driver and provides a ton of support for them. So I'm sure that he's enjoying life. He's such a nice guy. I had the chance of meeting him at Indy, actually. And, you know, he's super gracious, very nice guy. So
Former
good to
IndyCar.
see his livery.
Yeah, good to see that Menards livery. A very historical sponsor in IndyCar racing, mainly at the 500. But John Menard did do some season-long sponsorship. Or bang, right into the wall for Thiessen. And that's going to open the door for Mitch Welker on by. But John Menard did some one-off sponsorships with Team Penske. Because, you know, if you can't get into the winner's circle on your own for Team Menard, you might as well just put your sponsor on the side of a Penske car. It almost guarantees you a spot in victory lane at some point.
Sure does, yeah.
And, of course, he's always wanted that Indy 500 win. Came close in 99 with Robbie Gordon, a lap away, and Gordon just ran out of fuel and gave that race to Kenny Breck and A.J. Foyt. But he finally did get into victory lane twice at Indianapolis, actually once with his son in the Cup Series, in the NASCAR Cup Series, and then in Pagano in 2019. And actually, while we're talking about Pagano, he is the last driver to win from the pole position at the Indy 500. If you can believe it, the last pole winner in Indianapolis, 2019. We have not had a pole winner since then, or a pole winner win the race since then.
It doesn't really surprise me that much. I mean, if you were telling me that about, I don't know, the Monaco GP, I would be like, what? No, you're kidding. But it's 500 miles on, you know, the biggest oval in the world, and there is a ton of moving, a ton of passing, a ton of strategy, and different things that can happen in a race, cautions that can come up at different times. So, I mean, winning the pole and being on the front row for the 500, you know, it's of course a massive achievement, but I don't think it guarantees anything, as the stats show.
Well, as the drivers get better in the race, the driver quality from top to bottom in the IndyCar Series is much better than, let's say, mid-'80s or even early '80s, mid-'70s. I mean, the driver, the racecraft, everybody's skill set, the cars, much more reliable and everything. It used to be that if you started from the pole, you were one of the best drivers on the best team, so we had the best equipment. Now, that's not the case. We are kind of a spec series other than the engines, so everyone drives the same chassis as we're continuing to watch this battle between Rodriguez and Burrell. But, you know, we don't have the spice and variety that kind of was at the height in the mid-'90s, so to speak, with, you know, 3 different chassis and 4 different engine manufacturers and 2 different tire choices. Now it's just, you know, 1 tire, 1 chassis, 2 engines. But overwhelmingly, if you're going through IndyCar history at the Indy 500, the most winners from any position is the pole. And then it typically... the most wins then is position 2, and then the next most wins is position 3, and then it kind of filters on down through the rest of the field at 33. Furthest back we've ever had a winner at the Indy 500 from 28. It says a lot that the equipment nowadays is much more reliable, and to no one's surprise, the pole winner, the last pole winner is back in 2019. You know, 8 years now. That's a very long time that we've seen winners between pole positions in Indianapolis. Would I be surprised that we see a pole winner back again? No, because typically that's where the best teams and best drivers do reside, up there on the pole. Now, say what you want about Schwartzman last year and his team getting kind of lucky, but it happens every now and then. The sons find the dog. The sun finds the dog, so to speak.
Yeah, for sure. I also can't believe that you just said 2019, 8 years ago. No.
Yeah, that, I was just about to say it feels like it doesn't even feel that long ago when you think about it.
I mean, it might be. I'm just in denial because I'm old. And
I want to hear nothing about age out of either one of you.
I was not going to say anything. So.
Real is really catching up with Rodriguez now and putting a lot more pressure. I'm also, it's interesting to me that Peter Berryman really hasn't done any headway. I thought that he was going to be able to at least, challenge the position with Christian Hilgert, but he's not even close to him.
Smeaton's getting close to Berryman, though.
Yeah. It's actually the other way around. As Birel's car is sliding all over, and he's loses fast.
If you enjoy P1's coverage of the IndyCar iRacing Series Saturday Top Split, respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasts. Happy Saturday to everybody. Qualifications in the real Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach later today. Check your local listings for your Fox affiliates.
Birel scrapes the wall and loses a ton of momentum. He was under 4/10 behind Rodriguez. Now that moved all the way up to 8. So that's what tells you about how unrelenting the walls are, and we also
unforgiving
Nick Thiessen, and unforgiving. Yeah, I was actually worried about Thiessen when he hit the wall. We were driving around with them, and Mitchell Walker. Luckily, he didn't really have any damage to his rear axle because that could potentially be a day-ending hit. So yeah, and sometimes you get lucky if you hit it like super square on. You're not gonna get any damage, but again, it's playing with fire. But you also need to get close to the walls. If you're not close to the walls, you're not fast enough, and that's why you see everybody trying to make it, the most out of the track. And like we say, is I paid for the track. I'm gonna use every single inch. So in around 5 to 10 laps.
Yeah,
No,
we
5
are
laps.
at lap 14 of 85, and we once again here is the pit strategies that we kind of expect, give or take. This is an 85 lap race. It was 90 laps a season ago, and I think they might be returning back to 85. This in real life too. No, they're doing 90 in real life. So they're only doing 5. They're doing 5 less again this year, but we did 90 last year. So this is definitely going to turn it into, if you could fuel save like Scott Dixon, because the reason they went to 90 laps, fellas, is because of Scott Dixon. Remember that fuel save he did in 2024 and got the win here? And they're like, no more Scott Dixon fuel saves. Most races went up about 5 laps because everyone's like, well, we got to make it harder for Scott Dixon to get wins as he's getting too close to AJ Foyt. So we go back to, we're 85 laps in the sim, but most of your IndyCar road course races are about in the 90 lap neighborhood, give or take. And we're 85, so that's going to make it really a kind of maybe a 2-stop today. And we'll bring up the pit strategy graphic one more time. Here you go. Let's get the track map off there. There you go. 2-stop 28 and 30, and then 56, 59 somewhere in there, and then a 3-stopper 21 through 23, 42 through 45, and a 68 through 70, somewhere in there. Possible pit starters. This is just best guess on our part. Nothing scientific here, just us and a little math.
Yeah, I would imagine that a lot of these guys are currently saving fuel, making sure to get to that 2-stop window, which I think is a preferred one, as opposed to going to 3 stops, because, again, a 3-stop could work wonders if you had a caution at some point. But without them, that's probably not going to help a lot, because you're going to lose around 30-something seconds on pit road. So you would need to make that time up on the racetrack, and against this field, that's not going to happen. Lucas Logano was involved in a small incident there with Sophie Connell. No harm, no foul. But Logano lost 2 positions to Naughty Emil and Nick Thiessen, so he's going to try and recuperate them. It's very close right now to Emil. That would be for P11, and that also has brought Jared Curry in this fight. And Rashad Craig. It's a nice training there.
Watching them right now. Munoz is your leader. He had a big jump. And I would say the field did a pretty good job at getting into alignment and getting lined up. That's one of the big disadvantages of starting further back in the field at Long Beach is typically the field is not organized coming off that final hairpin. And normally the first couple of rows get a big jump, and everybody in the mid-pack just kind of has to fight it out. But everyone did a good job this time. But Munoz wasted no time on that start whatsoever. He hit it. Second that he could pass that pace car on the front stretch, he was gone.
Yeah, and he's about to lap Joseph Manning there for P19. And it's only 18 laps in. He has been in a crazy fast pace. Munoz is. Although he kind of lost like a second in last time by. Christian Hilder is getting closer.
Top 4 on the alternate tire. They'll just have to switch in their one of their stops to the prime tire, which is the black sidewall tire. Which the highest placed driver at the black sidewall tire, the prime tire, is Rodriguez in 5th. Go back to that battle with Ladato, Emil, Curry, Rashad Craig. Ladato finished on the podium earlier in the week on our Wednesday top split. Naughty Emil is in 12th spot there. Jared Curry, one of your teammates at Tony. Rashad Craig, one of your associate teammates, technical teammates at the IAR, former Open Series champion. A lot of talent back here in this group of drivers.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. Honestly, again, this field is extremely stacked, and also Jared is no slouch. He's 6K iRating. It's just that we're talking about 9K iRating guys, so they have been doing fantastic, and happy for them. Also, we didn't mention, but Alan Bertot has been making his way through the field. Remember, he started from the pits. He's now made his way up to P18 and is battling Pavel Beer. He's actually going to have a loop here to the inside on Shoreline Drive, and he's going to have the preferred lane on turn 1. He makes it happen.
He does.
17th.
Pavel Beer with the best name in the lineup. Of course, there is a history of, actually not at this particular spot in California, but if you remember, Pavel Chekhov spotted Nuclear Vessels and Voyage Home for Star Trek in California. You guys might not get that joke. Have you seen the Voyage Home?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
I might be a bit too young for me. So.
Oh, you gotta watch Star Trek. Come on, yeah, that's where they were actually up in San Francisco, and they had to send Chekhov into to basically borrow some nuclear power from the aircraft carrier Enterprise that was docked in the naval yard there in San Francisco, and he asked a policeman and people on the street if they would direct him to the nuclear vessels. So, anyways.
Yeah, I know. I always was more of a Star Wars guy.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Yeah. You can ask me anything about Star Wars. I probably will know it.
Well, that battle between Berteau and Beer has stabilized. We'll go to the next closest battle on the racetrack, which still continues to be this train of Lodato, Curry, Emmel, and Craig in the mid-pack. And now joining the picture is Logan Edwards in the I5G entry. And, of course, he's with I5G, they're probably all saying, thank God it's getting close to May, because they are ready for the Indy 500.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and Jared Curry was able to make it by Naughty Ammo, and now Rashad Craig is getting closer as well. Let's see, last time by was a 109 flat for Naughty, 109 flat for Rashad, so no real change there. Again, making a move here is very, very difficult. And they don't have any rest. Like, you don't have any cautions. You have to keep going.
Again, watching this battle. Lap 22 of 85. We're kind of now expecting pit stops to happen about any time.
If you were going to be doing the 3-stopper, you would have already paid, or you're still kind of in the window. If you want to go and do the 2-stopper, you can pit in like 2 laps, but that's going to make you have to save fuel. So I'm sure that most of these guys will try and extend it as much as they can, and maybe try to get to lap 27, 28, just to give themselves a shorter field for the last one. But man, the month of May is just around the corner.
Yep, and of course you've visited Indianapolis for the 500. You've made the pilgrimage. We suspect that sometime, Ryan, you will make the pilgrimage as well.
It's on my list of races to visit, that's for sure. So, yeah, if I ever do make it over to Indy at some point for the month of May, that'll be cool to meet up with you guys and any other iRacers.
Yeah, whenever you make you jump the pond all the way from Scotland, I'll make sure to be there.
Yeah, if I ever make it, I'll bring my kilt with me.
Oh, okay. Now, I know it's a stereotypical cultural thing with the bagpipes and all, but do you know that bagpipes are a big part of Indy 500 history?
I do.
The Gordon Pipers. It's a local bagpipe band here in the Indianapolis area. They march every year in the before the 500 on the racetrack. They also march in the 500 Festival Parade, and typically leading up to the race, you can find them in the infield in the pagoda area, playing the bagpipes as well. And that is just a continuing, ongoing tradition. The Gordon Pipers. Look them up. They are definitely a part of Indy 500 history and lore at the Speedway.
I'm sure I've heard them while at the track, but I don't think I've seen them. So I will definitely.
It's kind of hard to miss the bagpipes.
Yeah. I mean, I know I've heard them.
Now we got about a 3-car battle now. Smeet and Rodriguez Burrell all together. This is 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Now, looks like those alternate tires might just be spent at this time. And now Smeeton is going to try and fight him off as much as you can. As Burrell, he keeps sliding all over.
And he can slide around a little bit more with those alternate tires, or with the prime tire. In fact, only if you see in the tree, on the scoring tree, only the top 4 are on the prime tire, and then Lilac Zier is on the alternate tire as well. But everyone else is on the prime tire.
I think this also tells us that, the prime tire really lasts for the entire duration of the stint. So I imagine that the guys up front are going to go, well, I don't know. They're probably going to go here to the prime. And if they save enough fuel, they might just go for the alternates and do a quick, fast stint to end the race. Oh, there goes Rodriguez.
Rodriguez on his teammates. And, Smeaton kind of lets up and lets it by, but opens the door for Burrell to slide into the inside. Now the outside, they're going to side-by-side through the double apex into the hairpin. Still there. Oh, he tries to over-under him. Drag race down to the store line.
That was.
Oh.
That was a. Oh, that was a. I'm amazed they made it through the hairpin in 2x2. I'm like, wow. That
is the downside. Here he goes. He's still there inside in the 1 and gets the position.
Ooh.
Oh, and he got squirrely. Smeaton did on the exit there. But unfortunately, Smeaton lost 2 positions on that side of the racetrack, that half of the racetrack. And that's the downside. As someone that's raced with a lot of teammates on the track at the same time, Antonio, Tony, talk about, you're trying to let your teammate by. You're trying to be courteous. You don't want to, cause him any grief, him or her any grief. And you just lit up a little bit. But that doesn't stop the guy behind you from jumping on the opportunity.
Yeah, no, certainly. I've had that happen to me quite a few times. You're just trying to, like you said, be courteous and, help the team, really. If they have better pace, you just try and let them by. But everybody's going to try and find an opportunity. And if there's a door even slightly open, they're going to try and take it, as Burrell did, which, that was a beautiful move because Smeaton went defensive on turn 1. But Burrell was like, well, no, I'm going to be even more aggressive. And now Daniel Ferguson is also catching up with Smeaton. I think Smeaton is really trying to survive this lap, and we'll try and pit next time by, because at this point it doesn't seem that it's healthy for him to stay out, as Nick Thiessen is actually the first one of the entire field to pit, lap 27. So kind of where we were expecting them to do. But Ferguson is all over Smeaton now.
Yeah, this will definitely kind of make it a 2-stopper. In the past, again, we've done, this is an 85-lap race, but in the real world, it will be 90. And it should be 90. I don't know if that was just overlooked. It was 90 last year. It was 85 in 2024. In 2021 and 2022, this is the fifth time we've been to Long Beach in the IIS since the IIS started back in 2019. It was 63 and 65 laps at first, which is I think the IIS has evolved into a 100% length league, but I think when the IIS first started, it wasn't a 100% length lead, and that's a league, and that's why, or series, and that's why they did 63 and 65 in the first 2 races. So we did 85 and then 90, and then we're back to 85. So I don't know if that's just a clerical issue, error, or something, or what, but it will be 90 in the real race tomorrow, or real race on Sunday when you watch them on Fox.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. Maybe the same thing, right? It kind of made it the same strategy for both.
Well, yes, if you could drive like Scott Dixon, then yeah, you could make the 2-stopper. And I think a lot of these guys are learning how to drive like Scott Dixon, because we are in the 2-stop window right now. So no more secrets for Scott Dixon as we see Hilgard coming to pit road. Also coming to pit road, Berryman.
Right on cue.
Not Munoz. He stays out. Able to save some fuel 1 lap longer than everyone else, unless they're trying for the undercut.
I think that additional lap of fuel is going to be huge, honestly. Like the most that you can say, that's what you should try and do.
Meeting on pit road.
Aiden Matisse, pit road as well. Mitch Welker, Rashad Craig, Logan Edwards also pitting.
Logan Edwards. Alberto, he's up. Actually, he's right where he qualified at now. So remember, he started from the pits. He's now in the 14th position. 14th or 15th position, but right where he qualified at.
Yeah.
Munoz, pit road.
Esteban Rodriguez as well, pit road. Kevin Burrell, Daniel Ferguson.
Like the Nexus squad is splitting strategies on team members there.
I would imagine that Lucas Logado and Jared Curry will also pit here. Oh, Logado staying out.
Going for an extra lap. Logado teammates with Ferg.
Nutty Emma also staying out.
Noddy, we still need to get you out of that AlphaTauri, though. We need to get you into a real IndyCar livery. Can't be doing this wolf and sheep clothing bit. We need to get you something legit. I mean, of all the winners in Long Beach history, I mean, you could drive one of their liveries. We'll put it on the air. You know, that's a really good segue, right? That's a really good segue. You know what time it is? It's time for Gary's IndyCar lesson. Oh, here we go. So there you see the kart track record. 51.2 set by Jill DeFerrin, set on the old configuration. My favorite configuration of this race course. If you are an old sim racer, you played it on IndyCar Racing 1 and 2. That's at the end of the front straight, and you're turning right into turn 1 instead of turning left into turn 1. The IndyCar track record set by some guy that's not even in the series anymore. I can't remember who he is. Colton Herta? Who's that guy? I think he drives for some feeder series for Formula One now. I don't know.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Doesn't ring a bell anymore. No, I've heard of Brian Herta, but not Colton Herta. He has a track record with a time of 105.3 back in 2022. As you see there, Kart World Champ Car World Series, IndyCar, and the series has raced at Long Beach 41 times between 84 and 2025, excluding the COVID year. In fact, that little stat right there, it is the longest continuously running race outside of the Indianapolis 500 on the schedule today. The career wins leaders here at the beach. King of the Beach. Of course, you hear that a lot, especially if you watch the IndyCar lore video that is on the IndyCar channel now. And I suggest watching that video. That is basically all the info that I have here and I've been giving you for years on the channel. They are now summing it up with video in a 6-minute video. That's so awesome. But Al Unser Jr., King of the Beach, 6 wins, including 4 in a row from 88 to 91. And that would have been 5 in a row in 92 if he didn't get bumped out of the way by his teammate, Danny Sullivan, who went on to win that race, gave the first win to the Galmer chassis. But I think Al Unser Jr. got the last laugh later in the season, winning at Indianapolis. So Paul Tracy, Mario Andretti each have 4 wins here, but I'm counting one of Mario. He technically has 3 IndyCar wins. One of those wins was in Formula One when Formula One raced here in '77. Your defending race winner here for 2025 is Kyle Kirkwood. And your last 10 races here have had 7 different winners. Dixon, Rossi, Kirkwood are the only ones to repeat. And several drivers have won their very first race here at Long Beach, including Michael Andretti. His first and last wins were here. Paul Tracy, Juan Montoya, Mike Conway, Takuma Sato, and Kirkwood. And that is your IndyCar lesson of the day.
Hey, that was awesome. I love those IndyCar lessons. Just wanted to give you guys an update. Both Peter Bergman and Daniel Ferguson, they had incidents on their outlap on new tires. Both have meatball flags. They have to respect the meatball.
Respect the meatball.
And they're currently in pit road. I don't think that they will be able to fix either one of the cars.
I'm going to try to find out. I'm going to try to find out what happened to Berryman.
Berryman hit turn 1 in his outlap, and Ferguson hit turn 9 on lap 31. So that's going to be day done for both of them, I think.
Let's watch the video. I'm trying to shoot slow-mo, but I might have gone back too far. We'll see again, Berryman. Oh, yeah. He just goes right out to the wheels. Let's watch this again.
Yeah, Tara's not up to champ.
Maybe we'll get let's try to get a high shot of the drone here and just see. He just goes wide in the corner. And this is a very rare mistake by Peter. Normally he's my pick for these races. This is a safe pick. And there's a car coming off of the pit road. I believe that is Kevin Burrell, and he just missed the apex. He just didn't get low enough and smacks that tire barrier pretty good.
Yep.
I didn't see what happened to Ferg. We'll go back and see what happened to Ferg here. And I'm not sure what happened.
Such a shame, though.
What turn had happened to Ferg as well.
Turn 9.
Okay, so we are going to watch him here as in turn 9 at the end of the straight. And these are, yeah, I just the back end got happy on him under braking and into the tire barrier there as well. Kind of in the same neighborhood I think McLaughlin wrecked yesterday in practice. So rare mistakes for both those drivers. And that just kind of elongates Munoz's lead a little bit now to 2.8 seconds over Christian Hilgard and Esteban Rodriguez.
Yeah, but they're keeping him honest. I mean, although the difference has grown a little bit, it's still under 3 seconds, and Hilgard has been very, very fast. So, Jaden Munoz has to keep executing lap after lap. We're not even halfway at this point. And, like we were saying at the beginning of the race, right? This place is unforgiving. And we just saw it with two of our heaviest hitters, cars number 1 and car number 3. They just went a little bit wide, which would typically be no big deal, in a permanent road course, because you just go off a little bit. But here, that's it. They done. Nothing else to do. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing with street tracks as well. Basically, you kind of say to yourself, I don't want to push too much in case I crash, but that's the thing as well. If you start not backing off fully, but if you start easing off ever so slightly, I find on street tracks anyway, I find if you do that, you start losing your focus and your concentration, and that's what can lead to you making mistakes, especially on a street track such as Long Beach.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If you kind of change and are like, oh, I'm gonna drive a little bit, I'm gonna take it easy on myself. You miss your braking markers. You miss your muscle memory, and that can also lead to incidents. So it's really difficult to get this right for 85 laps.
On top of that, at least here you have a little bit of runoff area. But later in the season, when we go to the Chicago Meme Race Course.
Oh, well, yeah.
Here's the schedule later in the season. When we go to the Chicago Street Course later in the season to represent what we will run in Washington, D.C. when the NTT IndyCar Series reaches that portion of the schedule, there is no runoff at Chicago. So these guys better get it out of their system now, because it's just going to get worse when they get to Chicago in August.
All right, fair enough. That one is even worse regarding that. Keep it in the track.
Watching a battle here between Logan Edwards and Rashad Craig. These are drivers that have a lot of road course experience in these cars. Rashad Craig, former Open Series champion. Logan Edwards, winner on the road course in the Elite Racing League at Portland. So in terms of league and official competition, very accomplished drivers right here as they making the run down the back stretch here.
And, I'm very happy for Logan Edwards to join, that he joined i5G. And also, on the other hand, I think that i5G got a heck of a driver with Logan Edwards here. So, very nice match here. And yeah, he has been a little bit faster than Rashad Craig the last few laps, although now Rashad gets a much better exit. And there goes all the work that Edwards had been
That's
building
all
up
it
to.
takes. That's all it takes. Peter Berryman, a little bit of a red mist purple lap there last time by.
Oh, they were able to fix that car. That's
He's
kudos
back
to
in the race.
to the team.
Virtual squad gets it fixed. West
Also,
Shoreline
Lodada
Drive
was able
here.
to make it. Lodada was able to make it by Nick Thiessen there for P8.
Yeah, biggest gainer right now. Joseph Manning up 8 spots.
Just keep it on the track. That's my strategy typically also for road courses. Just finish the race.
As Lewis likes to say, keep it on the black.
Yeah, there you go.
Pavel Beer right behind on this battle
Joseph
right here.
Hurst.
Pavel Beer and Manning. Now Manning is down a lap, but this is 16th and 17th, but not for position on the racetrack.
Right. Yeah.
And Manning ducks out of the way there. You're an Indianapolis Colts fan, and Manning, and good to see Manning in something Indianapolis, a name in Manning, something in Indianapolis related here. Manning takes a knee going into one and gives the position to Beer.
Very nice references.
we miss our Peyton Manning days.
I can imagine. And then you started, they gave you a lot of hope this last season, and then they crumbled.
Well, we still had IU. And that's once the Colts started failing, everyone's like, forget it. We'll just pay attention to Bloomington. Oh, Pavel Beer smacks the wall, getting on the East Seaside Way. Really no close battles out here. Edwards, Craig, Curry. It's about the closest on the racetrack. This is 11th, 12th, and 13th.
Yeah, and Thiessen trying to make it by Lodado again, trying to get that position back, but they just have very similar pace right now, and the same goes for Jared Curry, Rashad, Logan Edwards. Although they're being caught up by Alan Berteau, who's now just a second away from Edwards, and we know that he's fast. He has been able to do 107 laps, and this group that we're talking about has been mostly in the 108 bracket. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens once Berteau catches him. But let's reset the field. I don't think we have done that in the entirety of the race, but Jaden Munoz is your leader. He has a 9-second advantage over Rodriguez. We missed something because Hilgard was right there, and now Hilgard is 2.5 seconds behind Rodriguez. So that's P3 for him. Then we have Kevin Burrell, who is 1 second away from Hilgard. JT Smith, 2 seconds behind Burrell. Then we have a big gap to Mitch Welker, 18 seconds. Mitch is currently running P6. Adam Matej, we haven't really talked a lot about him, but he has quietly kept it in the top 10 the entirety of the race. He's up 1 spot, currently running 7th. Then we have Lucas Lodado, who is running 8th, and right behind him, that's Nick Thiessen, who has also been pretty much in the top 10 the entirety of the race. He's running P9. And then we have Nodi Amel, who has been on the edge of the top 10 the entirety of the race as well. Currently running 10th, holding off Jared Curry, who is currently 11th. And then we have this entirety of the train with Rashad Craig running 12th, Logan Edwards running 13th, and Alan Berteau, who has now caught back up, and is now the caboose on this train, running 14th. Then we have Joseph Kurz running 15th. He is around 10 seconds away of that train, and Pavel Beer running 16. That's the last car on the lead lap. And then we have Joseph Manning, who is a lap down. That's your field.
and still rolling as well. Lilac Zier 2 laps down. Lilac in 18th. Peter Berryman repaired, back underway, 4 laps down to the leaders now in 19th. He's your last car running on the racetrack. Ferguson, Salamine, Kinderin, Connell, Hand, and Kazarinsky. I'll just say it's Arthur Kaz. I'm sure everyone else calls him Kaz. I'm sure of it. It has to be. And I will call him Kaz now. And if not, you are now dubbed Kaz, Arthur. But he is now 25th and final car shown on timing and scoring out of the 25-car field. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if not done so already. If you're just joining us, you are watching coverage on P1 here, round 5 of 17 of the IndyCar iRacing Series. Presented to you by 4D Racewear, coming to you from Long Beach. We've now completed 42 of 85 laps. If you'd like to monetarily support us and our commentary team, make sure you donate via our GoFundMe link. Link is in the description, also pinned in chat. I also want to thank 4D Racewear for sponsoring today's coverage. Check out their line of made-for-sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com or click on their links in the stream description. Of course, if you're going to race on a road course race here in iRacing, you want a nice pair of gloves, so go pick up a nice pair of gloves at 4D Racewear. Your hands will thank you.
I wouldn't imagine driving around this place without gloves. No way.
Look, if you spent a bunch of money, and we're watching Munoz as he has caught some lap traffic, on a nice wheel that has that nice, kind of that suede foam type grip, sweaty hands are just going to destroy that. And just get yourself a set of gloves. Your wheel will last longer. And your hands, they'll be softer for your significant other.
And you will be happier.
Yeah.
Alan Bertel just made it by Logan Edwards there for P13, and now he's trying to catch up to the rest of the train, Rashad Craig, Jared Curry, and Nadi Amel.
Pretty good day showing for the Fiercely Forward squad. Cars in 3rd, 4th, 6th, 7th, and Bruteau in 13th on the looking on the just outside of the top 10. So they might get another car or associated car in the top 10 here soon. And one thing that we have not talked about at all either is the points coming into today's race. Kevin Burrell is your points leader. Kevin Burrell currently sits 4th on the racetrack. Alan Berteau, his teammate, 2nd. Christian Hilgard, their teammate, is in 3rd. So right now, it's all Fiercely Forward into top 3 positions. And we got Rodriguez, Roseboro, Ty Quilla, your teammate, Sheenov, Klimek, Lodato, and Poulier. They are the remainder of your top 10, and this is as of Friday at the 4 p.m. time slot completion. And we have really started this season. Kevin is looking to go for his 3rd straight championship here in the series. Keep in mind, I want to remind you that the IndyCar iRacing Series has only been in existence since 2019. Henry Bennett, Adam Crane won the next 3 championships in 2021 and 22. Nothing happened in 23. Thank you very much, Motorsports Games. Kevin Burrell in 24 and 25, and of course he's looking for his 3rd straight championship. But the thing is, Kevin Burrell leads the points, fellas, but he has not won a single top split race this year. This is all based upon consistency. Hilgard won at Sebring, Robert Milecka won at Phoenix, Peter Berryman won at St. Pete, Roseboro won at Barber. 4 races, 4 different winners, and a non-winner leading the points in the 5th race of the season.
Man, but Kevin is always super fast and so consistent. So I think he's happy just being there and leading the points, and just being there in the top 2, top 3, pretty much every single race. So I mean, I'm sure that he would like to also get one of these top split wins with this huge SOF. But on the other hand, if you're still beating them, because but right now we have Peter Berryman all the way to the back, and then we have some of the other drivers that have had incidents because they're going for the win. If they're going for that extra spot at some point and putting themselves at risk, and you're just not just, but you're finishing 2nd and still edging them in the points, well, I guess that's even better, right? So consistency wins championships. That's what I'm trying to say. A long-winded way of saying exactly that.
And it has happened before in real IndyCar history. Only twice in real IndyCar history has a driver gone on to win the IndyCar championship and not win a race all season long. Now, this is the scoring is done a little bit differently here in the IIS. There are 4 time slots a week that these drivers can participate in. So it's possible that Kevin can win one of those. But in terms of the top split broadcast and the big races that have the big strength of field, he has no wins this season. And in case you're wondering, going back into IndyCar history, 1958, 1978, that's the easiest way to remember it, 58 and 78, 20 years apart from one another. Tony Bettenhausen Sr. won the USAC Champ Car Championship at 58 with no wins. In 1978, Tom Sneva won also the USAC Champ Car Championship with no wins. And those it has happened before in IndyCar history. We've seen it happen before in leagues that we've covered. Mark Murphy won the Dark Horse Racing Series with no wins a season ago. That's on the channel. Of course, stock car fans will tell you about reason why there's the playoffs. Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs. But anyways, the playoff gimmick and everything, that was a result of Matt Kenseth only winning one race one season, and that got everyone all upset, and then we got to have playoffs. But there's nothing wrong with being consistent over the course of a schedule. And just to tell you, in that 1978 season, what was going on with the other drivers, Al Unser Sr. won the IndyCar Triple Crown in 1978. He's the only driver to ever win the IndyCar Triple Crown. But yet inconsistencies at other races prevented him from winning the championship. Tom Sneva was consistent and it won him the championship. Didn't win him a ride for the next season. He got fired because, well, he got replaced at Penske by some driver named Rick Mears. But
some guy.
Yeah, some guy. Just some nobody. But you still, he still was able to win that championship based upon consistency. And I think that's the name of the game. I don't think necessarily the name of the game is winning. If you're presented with the schedule in front of you and you can finish better on that schedule over the course of a season than other people, you should win the championship. It doesn't matter if you win or not, in my opinion.
Yeah, and if you're winning the championship, well, you're winning it all. You're winning it overall. So, yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, I was just about to say, sometimes it's not all about winning races. It's all about, like you guys mentioned, just being consistent and collecting the points. Yeah, you might not be up at the front all the time, but if you're finishing well and picking up good results and good points for any season, you won a championship at the end of the season. In my opinion, I think you've deserved it because you've like I say, you've not won races, but you've just been kind of just doing playing the sensible game, playing the long game. At the end of the season.
And Alain Berteau into the wall off of one, and he is going to tow. He is day done for the Frenchman.
Yeah, that was a little too optimistic for him, I think.
Well, it started back on the other end of the racetrack. Right before the hairpin, you saw Jared Curry get loose there in the right before the double apex. And that he lost a little momentum, went wide into the corner. Here comes Berteau to the inside. And now you're like, okay, we're going to have a drag race down the front stretch. And I saw this happening, and I immediately went to the push to pass graphic because I wanted to update everybody on push to pass because I knew he was going to be using the button. And they're running now down. This is I forget the name of the road. This is Shoreline Drive. This is East Shoreline Drive. And so he's in the draft on push to pass. And right there you see Berteau goes defensive, or actually Curry goes defensive to the inside. We got two cars, identical colors. And Berteau tries to pass him on the outside, on the long way around. But the thing is, by giving room to Jared, he makes that corner too wide and smacks the wall and immediately determines that is terminal damage and retires the car.
Such a shame, though. He had been. I was keeping my eye out on him. He was making his way through that train that we were talking about, and I figured that he would be able to get all the way up to 9th or maybe even climb further. But yeah, I mean, again, you make a tiny mistake and that's it. It's race on, and I do agree. I think that's terminal damage. He hit it like right with the right front tire. That there's no way that the team's going to be able to repair that. So Unfortunately, they done for Alan Berta, but he was doing a great job of making his way back through the field because of that pit road start that he had. But unfortunate.
Yeah, Berto finished on the podium last season in the championship. He finished third. But he is second in the points right now. And with a decent lead over Christian Hilgard, but I think Christian's going to eat most of that up. We'll see how that impacts the points going into the next round. Next round is the Indy GP. The month of May is starting, boys. I just want to talk about, we're kind of in that part of the race where there's not a lot going on, so we got to fill some time. So how is your Indy 500 preparation, or have you started yet, Tony?
Yes, we certainly have been playing around with different setups, different things, trying out, also understanding how the hybrid is affecting the weight, and what are the best strategies for the qualifying. That's what we're trying to figure out right now, because the added weight, it's certainly affecting it, and then also the deployment of the hybrid. So we're trying different things, seeing what sticks better. A lot of things that we used to do are not super valid anymore. There are some others that do, and they translate. But I think it's going to be a very interesting challenge. There are so many things that are different now with the hybrid.
Real quick, we just want to update everybody on the push-to-pass situation. It's been on your screen for a while. Munoz 158, Rodriguez 193. Rodriguez has not used that button hardly at all. Hilgard 187, Burrell 142, Smeaton 153. There you see Lodato has not, and actually Lodato getting a shout out in chat. Lodato has not used the button at all. He is at his full allotment of 200 seconds. So he has a full rounds in the chamber, ready to go if he needs to use it later in the race. Remember, you can't take them with you to the next race anyway, so smoke them if you got them. Ryan, what's your preparation? You planning on making one of the fixed or open Indy 500s?
Excuse me. My plan probably is to do the fixed day setup Indy 500, just because I don't have as much time to practice these days as I used to ages ago. So pretty much just a case of jumping into the fixed Indy 500 and see how it goes. Won't have a lot of time to practice, but it's just the way I treat it is basically I just treat it as fun. Whatever happens. If it goes well, it goes well. If I don't have a good race, then so be it.
Hey, I might know someone that can give you a pretty good loaner open setup.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be the cream of the crop, but it's going to be one that might do you pretty good. The cream of the crop ones are like guarded like secrets, trade secrets of countries. Yeah, it's like the nuclear codes. Those are those. Yeah, no, you're not going to find those out.
Yeah, no.
Jane Munoz leading now by 10 seconds over Rodriguez. Hilgard third, Burrell fourth, Smeaton in fifth. We will cover an open and fixed Indy 500 in May. The schedule has not been posted yet, but if they base it on last year's, which they tend to do, I have at least placeholders in place. So if you go to our channel, you should see a placeholder for the fixed Indy 500 and open Indy 500 streams. We will cover at least one of the top splits that is not covered by iRacing and RaceSpot. So we will cover whatever opposite they cover. Right now, those seem to be the Friday 9 p.m. time slots we will be covering, which is typically the first time slot available. So check the channel, hit the notify me button, and you'll get reminded as we get closer to that time in May. But the month of May is almost here for a lot of these drivers. Of course, we got the Indy GP coming up, which these drivers will tackle first. And then we get a little time off as these drivers then will get a chance to focus on the open and fixed Indy 500s. And then we will run the oval here in the IIS, but only for 500 kilometers. It's not even our longest race of the season, guys. Our longest race of the season is when we go to Gateway for 100% length series. We're not even running at 100% length at Indianapolis. And I think for some of these guys, it might just be a little bit of a mercy contrition type thing. By that point, when the IIS runs their Indianapolis race, it's after open and after fixed. And with all the other leagues that are in the community and everything, you can run as many as 4 and 5 Indy 500s. I think the last thing everyone wants to do is run one more Indy 500 for IIS.
I mean, yeah, I know folks that have done 8 Indy 500 in a year, so yeah, you know them as well.
One's your teammate. One of them's your teammate.
Yeah, exactly. I agree, and I understand why they also make it different, right? Like, it shouldn't be another 500-mile race at Indianapolis, especially after all that we have been doing, and to take away a little bit from the size of the event, of the special event, and probably one of the most expected ones in the entirety of the service. So I can completely understand why iRacing does it this way, and it makes sense. And it also makes it a little easier on us as well.
And remember, if you're watching, you're not very familiar with the process. You get to qualify just like you do for the real 500. In fact, the week leading up to the 500, fixed or open, there are qualifying sessions. You get to do a 4-lap qualifying 10-mile run, your average speed, and then you are slotted into your splits based upon how you qualify. So it's possible that you could possibly qualify in the top split, but not have a top split quality I rating. That's entirely different how they do everything else here on iRacing. So you are split into how you qualify, not split into your I rating. If you choose not to qualify and still want to participate, then you are slotted into splits. So typically what you see on opening weekend, the top split race is all the fastest qualifiers, and then there's another top split based upon your I rating. But overwhelmingly, the more popular of the two is based upon how everyone qualifies, because that's how the real Indy 500 does it. So unlike any other official series race or series, that the Indy 500 is truly unique in that aspect.
Yeah, and it also becomes a little bit weird because that top split that you were mentioning, that like the second top split, it's not only made up of guys that are like super high rating guys, right? So the first criteria is the time, right? Your qualifying time, and that's what makes it unique in that regard. You can be 1,000 I rating and be driving against 8,000 guys. Just because of the qualifying time, which is awesome. But then it starts going down by time and blah blah blah, and then it starts filling up by I rating. But you can also be slotted with many of the guys that were the slowest qualifiers. Even if you are like super high I rating but you didn't qualify, well, you might end up with some of the slowest qualifiers. So it's not really a top split, because it's going to be mixed with a lot of other guys. As we're starting to see some of the guys dive into pit road, that was Rashad Craig and Logan Edwards. Final stop for him.
Lap 57, this will get him home, as Logan Edwards getting a real good look at the attenuator there as he goes through Rashad Craig. And of course, Logan Edwards driving for that I5G group, and I5G stands for the Indy 500 group. And they, of course, if you're going to name yourself, if you're not going to name yourself Team Penske, then I guess Team I5G is the next best thing, really, because that's their thing. They're calling their shot. The Indy 500 is their thing. They have a number of top split broadcast wins.
Yep, they're very fast. And Edwards made the jump on Rashad.
He did.
There.
Got by him.
Rashad was flirting with danger there. If you cross that line before merging into the track, you can get a flag. I don't think he did, but he was very close.
Mitch Welker on pit road going to the red tires for the final stop.
Aiden Matej, Jaden Munoz as well.
Aiden Munoz, our leader, coming on the pit road. I believe, other than when he came to pit road, when he's been in not doing through pit since, Jaden has led every lap that at in anger, so to speak.
Yeah. Started first, has pretty much led every single lap. I don't even know if because I know that Lodado stayed out, but I'm not sure if he got to lead. I guess we'll find out after the race, but yeah, a heck of a performance. So
Yeah,
far.
Munoz has led 58 of the 59 today.
There you go.
And he, there's Munoz coming out right in the middle of the battle of Logan Edwards and Rashad Craig. He's going to be the meat in that sandwich right now. So right now we have only 12 cars on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap is that purple camouflage car, the i5G entry of Logan Edwards. Also, while we're speaking of the Indianapolis 500 and Team i5G, this Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Elite Racing Network. That's another YouTube channel. Myself, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, will call the action for the 16th running of the Elite Racing League's P1 IndyCar Championship. We sponsor that series. The P1 IndyCar Championship, their 16th running of the Lucas Oil School of Racing, Indianapolis 500. And one of Logan Edwards' teammates, Alexis Newsom, who won one of the very prestigious Lionheart Indy 500s, she's on the front row, along with PRI Hoosier 500 in December, one of their co-admins, Ryan Schold. He's sitting in the middle of the front row. And a man with 12, almost 1,300 official iRacing wins to his credit, Brendan Trost. We see him a lot on the Top Split broadcast. He is starting from the pole for this race. So that is all this Thursday at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Or actually 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Normal start 7:45. Old habits die hard. Sorry. At 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time for really one of the more prestigious fixed setup league races, Indy 500s, on all of the service. You don't find very many league 500s as big as this one, and this will be Thursday night. So check us out over on Elite Racing Network on for the 16th running. Should be a good one.
Man, yeah, I mean, that sounds like a very, very stacked field.
And last year's 500 went caution-free. Jade Munoz, purple lap, 107.
.107.1. Oh, and then Rodriguez is like, no. Let's go below 107. 106.9.
106.9.
Interesting. Munoz is in the primary tire for his last stint, but Rodriguez chose the alternate. We'll see if there is any difference. Christian Hilgard is on the primary as well. A very quiet race on the top three. Again, I don't know what we missed for, when Rodriguez actually made it by Hilgard, but other than that, I mean, just chilling after that incident that Berryman had and the incident that Berg also had.
And apologies that we missed that. And actually, I'd like to go back and find it, but my session events, for some reason, are not loaded in. So that will make loading the replays at the end of the race fun. So when I turn it over to you for final thoughts, Tony, talk as long as possible because I got to cue all this stuff up. But normally, when you watch a real race, they have spotters and people hollering out, hey, there's a battle, you need to get the camera to it, and the director will get there. And it is just literally a three-man job that we have here. I got two guys sitting remotely in their posh international locations, and I'm sitting here just north of Indianapolis streaming this and trying to control all the cameras, and it does get a little hectic at times. Rashad Craig is caught up now to Logan Edwards. Logan kind of slowed up a little bit to allow the leader on by, and kind of like what we saw earlier in the race with a little of a teammate-on-teammate passing action where they tried to avoid the fratricide, and it opened the door for, I think it was Smeaton to lose two spots there. Much the same thing happened here is Logan Edwards lits up just a little bit wide exit there, getting out to the wall. Drag race down the seaside here. But it's going to open up a battle here between two drivers that we've talked about. A lot of experience in these cars.
Yeah, I'm sure that Rashad is not going to try and force anything here. but he's gonna try and apply as much pressure as possible.
So, guys, tell me, while we got time, we watch this battle. What is your favorite version of the Long Beach course? Is it this current course with the fountain, or is it the course that I kind of remember most in the 80s or so, where they, instead of turning left in turn 1, you're turning right in turn 1? What course do you prefer?
I got a feeling that you're biased.
I am 100%.
I will plead the fifth. No, I like this one better. I like this one better.
You're wrong, but I take your opinion.
I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, my favorite version. You'd probably expect me to say, with being a younger fan, if you like, to say this version, but I'm actually with Gary. I prefer the old version. Just watching on board, that the old turn 1, for some reason it just looks so much better, because maybe it's just me being a fan of technical tracks, but it looked a lot. Yeah, it's something about it. It looked a lot more challenging.
Yeah, I think the reason why people like the fountain is that's like the signature corner of the racetrack, so to speak, outside of the hairpin. I think that's pretty. Yeah, and it's picturesque, but you can't do anything through it. It's single file. It's not like you use it to pass or anything. But it just if you were going to rechange the race course, make that portion functional. It doesn't seem to be too functional. But you're right. It makes a great camera shot. Like we might have some TV static cams there.
Please, honestly. That's Jared Curry was able to make it by Rashad Craig. I think they must be working together. So perhaps Jared was like, "Hey, I might be able to make it by Edwards." So they are switching positions there. Let's see if Curry is able to make it by Edwards.
You see some of the static cams we have. Whoa! Every single one of them right out to the wall.
That was a little too close for comfort.
I mean, they are literally following each other to the T right now in each other's tire tracks.
And I would also say that the addition of the hybrid here as well can also make it a little bit more difficult to complete a pass, because typically you would have to rely, as there's a little bit of a lockup from Edwards, you would have to rely a lot on the push-to-pass situation. And right now I see that they have a ton of it left. 164 for Logan, 120 for Jared Curry. That's going to try and make it on the outside here. Probably not.
So just give
if you're
okay, let's talk about the hybrid and the push to pass. So if you're watching here, like you hear us talk about push to pass, which is P2P. Okay, and then you got the hybrid, right? That's the battery. So that has the little the battery charge you need to recharge on every lap. So you have 200 seconds of push to pass, and that increases the horsepower of your car. That's all it does, is increases the horsepower of your car, not using the battery. It does not use the battery. But when you hit the hybrid button, that uses the battery. Here, in theory, with push to pass and hybrid, you could use both at the same time.
You can. You do. And you get a bigger, better response from your engine. The thing is, the hybrid, that's unlimited. You only need to, unlimited in a way. I mean, you have 100% of battery whenever you start a lap, as Curry has a
Curry on the
run
outside, going to the one.
See if that opens up the door for Rashad as well. He was so close to the wall.
He was. Logan. I'll say Logan gave a lot of extra room there, and he probably didn't need to do that. But again, just trying to give extra room to a driver in one.
All right. We survived. Well, they did.
So going back to
yeah.
going back to the hybrid and push to pass. So push to pass, you only have 200 seconds, and it adds horsepower and actually eats into your fuel supply. Whereas the hybrid, which is unlimited, but you have to recharge your battery, and you can recharge your battery through braking and hitting the regen button. In most cases here on the road courses, you're just going to get it through braking, right?
Yes, yeah. You were probably not going to be using the regen button at all. But again, you get 100% of the battery to use on a lap. So although you can spam it, you can run out of hybrid to use in a lap. It's there's a limit to it, but it regenerates every single lap. So I imagine that they are all using it right now. And again, you kind of have to in order to not be left behind. But it gives a very nice push, and especially if you get maybe a corner exit a little bit wrong. Well, you're gonna be hard on that button to make sure that you get that extra few horsepower to make it not, make it a little bit more manageable. So that makes passing a little bit tougher as well.
So just trying to clear up the terms out there between hybrid and push to pass. Push to pass is a speed boost. Hybrid is a speed boost, but they're not exclusively together. They are separate systems in the car.
Yes, that. Press button, go fast.
There you see Lilac here. Getting out of the way of this battle here.
Yeah, Lilac is spinning. But yeah, like you said, one of the key parts of, especially the push to pass one, is that it actually eats up a ton of fuel. So, especially when there is any kind of fuel saving situation, you're gonna see most drivers not even touch that button. And we're also seeing it right now with this group. 100 seconds left for Curry, 161 for Edwards, 168 for Rashad. We have less than 20 to go, and they haven't used even not even half of their allotment of seconds for push to pass. Because now you can use a hybrid.
Yes, looking in chat, is this eSport? Yes, this is eSport. I guess. I mean, yes, it's this is iRacing, and this is their top split for their Saturday IIS. So the IIS stands for the IndyCar iRacing Series. This mirrors the real-world NTT IndyCar schedule. And this is they have 4 races a week when the IndyCar Series races for real. They have those splits on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, or those time slots on those Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. This is the kind of the agreed-upon community top split where everybody gears up for. This is the broadcast split. And let me explain a little bit on the tree here as well. If you see in this column right here, this tells you what compound they are on for tire. H for the hard black sidewall, S for the softer red sidewall tire. And then if you see their number light up right here in this column, that means they're on the push to pass. So one of the things that we don't have yet in the sim that I don't think we can show to you, unlike TV can, is we cannot show hybrid deployment yet. I don't know if we will ever be able to do that. We do not know necessarily. We might be able to tell by sound on an onboard if someone's using the hybrid, but we don't know when someone's actually using the button anywhere on the race course. But you can see that in real IndyCar coverage on Fox. That is something that is transmitted in that telemetry data.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll get it eventually.
I hope so. It'll be great to see. Yeah. Go ahead.
Ada Mateus.
Yeah, we're watching it.
Really? Okay. Cool. I think we will get that information in the telemetry soon, especially because there are more cars that are using it nowadays. So right now, our best bet is to go in car and look at the small dashboard indicators of the hybrid lights, and those would go off and start depleting whenever they're using them, but we really don't have.
And so right now we're on the in-car, and we see his Pi dashboard light up right there with green, and that means he's on push to pass. And you see his name lighting up right here. That means he's on push to pass. And it's not push to pass because obviously you saw probably coming out of that corner, Welker went green too, and it's push to defend. You can use push to pass offensively and defensively.
Oh,
They are
Very
just
barely
going
there.
over those corners like they don't exist.
yeah, and that typically upsets the car
Yes.
quite a bit. So, awesome driving so far.
These cars are at best, a few inches off the ground. And they don't really have shock absorbers in the way that you have shock absorbers and struts in your family car that you have in your garage or out in the parking lot right now.
Yeah, no, it's probably not a very comfortable drive.
Well, I mean, they're sitting in a carbon fiber seat that is molded to essentially their own butt, right? That they have to. These are custom fitted seats, and those seats sit on the floor. And that floor is just a few inches off the pavement. So yeah, there's not much clearance here in these cars. As you know, as the phrase goes, a cockpit to these cars is more attuned to a real cockpit as you see in a jet fighter. Versus, when someone says in the stock car world, they're getting into the cockpit of a stock car. No, they're basically getting into the driver's seat as I would get in the driver's seat in my family car, right? And it's no different, really. Well, except they go through a window, General Lee style.
I've done that just to prove a point.
Was someone saying that you were too big to fit through the window? Look,
No.
if Jimmy Stewart could fit, was it Jimmy? I don't know, Jimmy Stewart or
Jimmy Spencer.
Jimmy Spencer. If Jimmy Spencer, well, Tony Stewart got pretty big too. But Jimmy Spencer, if he could fit through the window, you could fit through the window. I could fit through the window.
Yeah, no, I think it was not that I could fit. It was more a question of my agility. When I proved them wrong, I was able to get.
But then when I did it, I kept thinking, man, Bo and Luke Duke made it look so easy all those weeks that I watched Dukes of Hazzard when I was a kid.
Yeah, it ain't that easy. It took me a little bit longer than what it takes the top drivers to get in there, but I managed.
And for the most part, these cockpits are custom fitted to these real-world drivers. Now, these sim drivers, I mean, you could get yourself a racing seat and all that stuff. You don't probably need to have custom fit and all that type of stuff. We don't require that level of form factor. But real drivers, yeah, they'll have shoulder braces that are custom fitted to their width of their shoulders and their contour of their shoulders. Of course, the seat is custom fit to their rear end and to their back. And so often you'll see if there's ever a substitute, a driver needs to be substituted for during the race because of injury or something, when the real driver will get out and then they will pull their seat out and then the new driver will get in there. You actually see that in sports car racing when they switch drivers and endurances. Yeah,
with GT3s and also with the hypercars and whatnot, they are not that custom made because they need to share it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little bit amusing to see them, walk up to the car with their seat under their under their arm.
So this battle we're watching right now, Mitch Welker and Aiden Matisse. This is Matisse goes wide and a little bit of tire smoke as he goes through 6 and 7. But Matisse is a technical teammate. This is their development team for Fiercely Forward that Matisse is on. So these are technically a teammate battle right here. And Matisse, we saw him with a pretty good finish earlier this season at Sebring. And he is definitely getting a lesson in drinking from the fire hose from Mitch Welker. Mitch Welker, as mentioned, very, very accomplished in these cars. Very esteemed. I still cover the Formula Indy Series, which is primarily a fixed IndyCar series that focuses on predominantly road racing. They do have some ovals, but it's predominantly road racing. They have typically a 12-race schedule, and it's like 8 road courses, 4 roads, or often more road courses or less, and less ovals. He won 2 championships there. They had the real interesting part of that series, if you want to learn more about it. It's you can find them on our page on one of the playlists, the Formula Indy Series. They do standing starts, but Mitch is a 2-time champion of that series, and it is probably the best fixed setup road-based series on the service for the IR18. And so we know that he brings a lot of accolades based on winning that series. A lot of the real-world Road to Indy drivers that you see in the support races on IndyCar, real-world IndyCar race weekend, they participate in that league. So they have real-world racers that they race against, and Mitch Welker is a two-time champion of that league. So watch this battle here. I'm sure Aiden is learning a ton in the tire tracks of Mitch.
And that's awesome. And I guess, yeah, you're right. I think he has been learning because he had been, behind him for so much entirety of the race. But I think he's also starting to apply it here because the last few laps he has been a tiny bit faster than Mitch. Again, catching is one thing. Actually being able to pass is an entirely different one altogether. But he has improved his pace throughout the race. But that's awesome to see.
And Mitch will probably hate it when I say this here, as this battle's getting closer. He had a Formula Indy Series race pretty well in hand here at Long Beach a couple seasons back, and smacked the wall pretty hard on a corner exit, and it gave him a meatball flag, and had to retire the car. And it's one of his few DNFs and of a pretty dominant season that year. So he probably doesn't want me to bring that up, but it shows that we're all human anyways. Mitch is not a robot. I will say he is tempting fate a little bit with the green on the car.
Oh, it's just a splash of green.
It's just a splash of green.
That's fine. Although, you kind of were right. At Ty, my teammate, he used to have green as his kind of accent color, and then he decided that he no longer wanted it.
I know, he's gone to Raider colors now. Hopefully he doesn't bestow what the luck the Raiders normally have, but yeah, he's black and silver. But if you're not familiar, just Google up green car myth, green race car myth. You'll learn all about that. And the only proper racing green is British racing green. Is that correct, Ryan?
Yeah, British racing green. That's yeah, pretty much.
That's allowed by the racing gods. Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's. I know in the sports car racing, it's been used quite a lot in the past for Aston Martin. So it's yeah, pretty big.
Yeah, but those Lotus cars, they could pull it off.
Oh yeah.
Not the last time Lotus was an IndyCar. That was a bad showing. Everyone forgets that.
Yeah.
You remember?
Really bad. Yeah.
I mean, they had good, decent drivers. John Alesi was driving for him when. Yeah. So if you don't know what we're talking about, Lotus actually was a factory supporter of the IndyCar Series in the first year of the DW12 chassis. So they had a Chevy chassis and they also had a Honda chassis, and then Lotus came and supplied an engine as well with their own factory team, and that car just didn't qualify. The Indy 500 couldn't do anything, and I think by the time the seasons ended, they closed shop and decided to lick their wounds at that point.
Yeah, such a shame though, because having a name and a brand that's recognizable as Lotus being involved, and
we need
imagine
names
if
like
they were
that.
still around. Yeah, imagine if they were still around. That would be awesome. And it was. I remember, and it was like, man, no, I hope they do well, and then they didn't qualify, or they had reliability issues, or they was just super slow and off pace, and I was like, man, I want them to do well, but they didn't. So yeah, unfortunate.
Right now, if you don't watch IndyCar for real, we have two engine manufacturers. We got Honda, and we have Chevrolet. And I believe both manufacturers have extended their commitment to IndyCar to go into the new chassis whenever the new chassis comes out. They say 2028. That will make the IR18 10 years old, and that would make the overall chassis, because these tubs are basically the DW12 tubs. That would make the tubs right now. I think they'll be old enough to drive. It'd be. If they were,
Oh, maybe that's what they're aiming
if the
for.
Tubs were real people, they would be almost old enough to drive.
But on the other hand, it's like, is innovation for the sake of innovation really something we want to do? I mean, I don't know. The racing is, still awesome. So I get that. I get that we need a new chassis, but yeah.
Yeah, so the DW12 will be 16, actually, yeah. So in the state of Indiana, it will be legal to drive. As Mitch Walker
That's
starts to
crazy.
pull away from Aiden Matiz.
And Hilbert is closing into.
Let's go back to
Rodriguez,
that battle.
actually.
Yep, we'll watch that battle. It used to be, I kind of grew up with IndyCar in the 80s, and again, showing my age. But that's okay. Every year, there would be a new chassis. So it would be like, the 86 March, the 87 March, the 89 Lola, the 95 Renard. Every year there'd be a new one. And they stopped doing that because it got really expensive. And Penske certain teams would develop their own chassis, like the Penske chassis, of course, or the Galmer chassis. We talked about that with Danny Sullivan winning here at Long Beach and bumping his teammate out of the way. Let's see, what other chassis? The Wildcat chassis was Patrick Racing. Here
Quick,
comes Hilgard
Renard.
on Esteban.
Yeah, nice exit there.
Both on push to pass. It is a drag race in the one. Championship implications here in the points as well, and Hilgard will clear him. And it almost seemed like Rodriguez conceded that a little bit. He just backed off and let him have the position.
I think the odds are no longer good anymore. We were wondering at the beginning of the stint if going to the primes was the best idea or going to the alternates. Seems that Hilgard made the right decision here, and he just made it by Rodriguez, and now he's pulling away.
And once again, if you're just joining here, you're watching P1's coverage of the IndyCar iRacing Series Saturday Top Split presented by 40 Racewear, coming to you from Long Beach, where Jaden Munoz currently leads. As he crosses the line, there'll be 3 to go. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so to miss out on the next race. The next race for us in the IIS is in 3 weeks, May 8th, 2026 at 4 p.m. Eastern Time for a special Friday edition of the IIS Top Split. As we begin the month of May in iRacing Fixed Indy 500 weekend, as we will be at the Indy GP next race. So maybe Friday, May 8th, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And remember, of course, you get everything you need right off the channel. Just hit the reminder, hit the notify me button. You'll be reminded when we go live, and that will be Friday, 3 weeks from now. And then that is the start. Really, that's a long day for us. We do a race, do IIS in the afternoon, and then we'll do the Indy 500 in the evening. So it's a long day of racing action here on P1, but we're going to kick it off with the IIS at 4 p.m. Eastern Time right here on P1 for the next race, next round, Indy GP. And today's coverage is brought to you by 40 Racewear. And again, want to thank them a lot for their coverage and their sponsorship. Make sure to check out their line of made-for-sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them at 40racewear.com or click on the description as Munoz on the outside of, Lucas Lodato doing our leader no favors with 2 to go.
There's a 20-second lead from Munoz to Hilgard, so I think, it's got to be fine.
Lodato wants to stay on the lead lap. Look, we've been here for a couple hours now. The last thing is you want to fall down a lap with 2 to go. You see light at the end of the tunnel, and Munoz shows zero mercy.
You got to go.
He has an 18-second lead. No mercy. So, Jade Munoz subscribing to the Cobra Kai way of thinking.
Huh. Closest battle on track now is back to that battle between Logan Edwards and Rashad Craig. Still, Craig trying to find a way by, but we have the white flag right now.
White flag out.
Last lap for Jaden Munoz. What Dreyer? We didn't really focus that much on him today. but he was that far out in front.
That is that when you don't get a lot of TV time when you dominate a race like he has today. I mean, basically he has led every single lap. He doesn't have the purple lap. Rodriguez holds that right now. I doubt he gets it here in the final lap. We'll see. No, not with the way that he power slid off that corner. The tires are going to be very upset. But he's definitely going to bring it home for the win right here if he can just navigate these last set of corners. Yeah, dominant day. Started up with the pole. Huge jump at the start. Took the lead, and it's been pretty much a no-doubter from the remainder of this race. But Jaden Munoz off the hairpin, coming to the main straightaway. We're going to start this season 5 for 5. 5 different winners and 5 different top split races. And welcome to the group. Jaden Munoz, winner here at Long Beach to kick off NTT IndyCar race weekend for the Acura Grand Prix at Long Beach.
There comes Hilgard and Rodriguez finishing second and third.
And they're going to make a little ground. They'll make a little ground on Kevin. Kevin struggling to bring that car home. He goes defensive to the inside. I don't know why he was defending so hard against Berryman, but hey, you know, I guess it's with Berryman being 4 laps down, you might as well call it a scrimmage at this point. You might need that in a live fire exercise later in the season.
Birel and Smeeden close the lap, and now we're just waiting on Mitch Walker and Aiden Matej, who are the last cars on the lead lap, but they're going to be finishing 6th and 7th. And there they go. And that's it. Race done. And that was a very fun race. You know, got a little bit into a rhythm of typical Long Beach, and how there can be some lulls, but you know, we saw some comers and goers a little bit. You know, it's still unfortunate what happened to Berryman and Daniel Ferguson, and also Twelve and Bertol a little bit later. But that's just how this place works, and it's unrelentless. It's never going to let you lead up a little bit or get away with any mistakes. But Jaden Munoz, what a race. And he basically ended up with a 20-second lead of Christian Hildred, who, again, we missed a little bit of what happened, but then he made his way back up to P2 in the closing stages of the race to get by Esteban Rodriguez, who also had a fantastic race. Again, the top 3 were mostly there for the entirety of it. And then we had Kevin Birel, who also did a fantastic job, again, thinking about the championship and how finishing P4 is also going to help him out in the long run. So, you know, at the end of the day, a very good race, and now that's it. We're entering the month of May next time by, going to the Indy GP and then to the big one, to the big oval. Ryan, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, it was a fun race, like you mentioned, and there wasn't as much mayhem as I thought there would be, apart from the early stages of the race with Berryman and a few other people. But apart from that, it was a quiet race, and Jaden Munoz taking a well-deserved win, and like you say as well, I can't wait for the month of May at Indy.
All right, we're going to let Antonio escape here for a while. He has to call it quits early. So we will see you in a couple of weeks. That's the wrong B-roll. Let's make sure we get that the correct B-roll here. We'll see you in a couple of weeks when we get back to Indianapolis. But hey, man, thanks a lot, and you take it easy and send our best to the woman of the household. We know she's the boss. She's the real El Patron.
For sure. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good one. Take care.
All right. And we'll go over the, let's get the track map off there. We don't need that anymore. We will go over the results one more time. All right. And again, doing production on the fly, everybody. And we will see if Esteban Rodriguez is available. Well, actually, we'll just see whoever is available in the room and talk with them.
Yeah, it looks like it's Christian. It's in the interview room at the moment.
All right. There you see, if we're not joined by Esteban, we will bring him back up, but there is his stat line to today. Started 5th, finished 3rd. And I'm not sure if he had any laps led. We'll see here. No laps led for Esteban. That's going to help him in the points, though. Here, Christian Hilgard, he has no laps led today, but he gets a good finish. We will bring him in to the booth. Started 3rd, finished 2nd. And here is Christian Hilgard finishing 2nd today. Congratulations, Christian. It was tight quarters, I think, for that first stint, but slowly, kind of as these races go, because they're so long, it starts to string out, and then you're just kind of making laps and making time on your own. And you did get past Esteban to move yourself up to 2nd, and that's kind of where it just kind of stopped for you, and that's where you finished. Talk about your race, and also gaining on this big strength of field. We did a 5.1K today, gaining a little bit of points on your teammate in the championship standings.
Yeah, it was a fun race. Obviously, the gap to Jaden looks pretty big. He was definitely quicker today, but I don't know if you caught it on broadcast. I decided to go deep in turn 1 and make it interesting, as I have a habit of doing lately on these broadcasts. So it was good to recover back to 2nd. I think that's about as good as it was ever going to get with both Jaden and Berryman in the field. So yeah, happy with the result, and very happy with the effort the entire team put in. We ran the race yesterday. We were nowhere and put a bunch of work in on the setup. And I think we made it a lot better. I think we're maybe still a little bit behind the top guys, but also I don't think this is a particularly strong track for me. So to get this kind of result feels really good, and I'm really proud of the guys for putting the setup together.
I love it when people say this isn't a strong track for me and put up a P2. Anyways, we'll throw it over to Ryan for any follow-ups. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, well, with it being a street track, and you say it's not your strongest, what's your mindset racing around a street track such as Long Beach? Is it just a case of just try and not make any mistakes and just bring it home and pick up the points, or is it just is it the same as always, try and go for the win?
I mean, I always try to go for the win, and it's like in street tracks, on street tracks, I should say in general, I'm actually quite strong. Just Long Beach is an outlier for me for whatever reason. I don't really have the confidence to maintain like really fast pace. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not slow, but it's just I don't have the confidence to keep up with the Jaden Munozes and the Peter Berrymans of the world on a track like this one. I think it's the really tight exits. You know how a lot of the corners are really wide on entry, and then they tighten up so much, and you have those protruding tire barriers. They just sap my confidence a bit, and I'm sure it happens the same for most people here. Like it's so easy to make a mistake and ended up dying, and I was really close to doing that, right? Going deep into turn 1.
Well, we are now done with, I guess, the opening portion of the schedule, and now we're into the part that really everyone matters, and we're starting to get to Indianapolis now. GP's next, then the 500K. I don't know if you'll be participating in any of the fixed or open, but I know very shortly the focus for everybody will be on the oval. One more road course to go before we get there, but it is Indianapolis time. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone you want to say hi to before we let you go, because I know that a lot of teams are in the middle of a lot of testing for Indianapolis.
Yeah, again, big shout out to the team for putting together a great set after we looked nowhere yesterday. It took a lot of effort to do that, and yeah, as you say, we are starting to work on the 500 set. I'm sure many teams have been working on it for much longer than we have, but yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be an interesting year for us. Of course, with Hamilton not on the team this year, we it's going to be slightly tougher. Obviously, it's always going to be difficult losing a driver like him of his caliber. So yeah, I think it's going to be a tougher month of May for us. Hopefully, we can make up for it on the GP layout and still put together a car that's good enough to make top split, and then we can see where it goes from there.
All right, Christian. Best of luck with all your preparation there. We'll see you in a couple of weeks when we get to the Indy GP. But congratulations on the P2 today.
Thank you, Gary.
Christian Hilgard finishing second here today. Here is Jaden Munoz. We'll bring him in. Hey, Jaden, congratulations on the win and almost a Grand Slam win. I think during that first pit stop, someone stayed out just a little bit longer and picked up a cheap lap lead, but they still got it. And you pretty much did everything else in the short run. The purple lap got decided there kind of in that last stint as well, but a dominant win. Almost led every single lap, got the pole, got the win. I hate to say this, when you do go back and watch the stream, there's not a lot of TV time for you because you were just that dominant. Started with a great start. I mean, you got the drop on everybody and never looked back. Talk about your race. Biggest thing, and then my big question is when you get a lead that big and you're up front with a big of lead that, I mean, how hard is it to keep reminding yourself, you know, I got to stay focused. I can't run myself on one of these walls and give this race away.
Yeah, yeah, it was a tough race. Actually, looking at the UI on the results, it says I led every lap, so I guess I got the Grand Slam. But
Okay.
yeah, it's yeah, when I'm leading by that much,
We'll
like
check that.
my
Yeah.
focus really is
Yeah, it does say.
my focus really is just to increase the gap as much as I
Mhm.
can. Like I'm not too happy. I wanted the gap to be a little bit bigger than this, but since based off the race yesterday, but it's fine. It was a good race. I struggled a bit on the alternates. I just don't have a good groove with those tires around this track. They overheat really badly for me. So yeah, there's something to work on. Yeah, but I mean, other than that, it was a good race. The last didn't surprise me how much pace I had over everyone. Maybe I was saving too much in the first couple stints. Um, and yeah, I was able to push a little bit more in the final stint.
Ryan, we got to give him his props. He did lead every single lap. I thought Lodato got him, but Ryan, whatever questions that you got, go right ahead.
Yeah, as we look ahead to the month of May, obviously we've got the Indy Road Course first coming up, and then after that we've got the Indy 500. Is there what kind of adjustments do you have to make from the road course to race around the oval? I guess it's pretty much obviously the setup, but is there anything else within yourself that you have to readjust in a way?
Of course, the setup's the big thing. But other than that, like you kind of have to use different tools with the weight jacker, then set up different settings, set up different binds, just to maximize your tools on the ovals because it's definitely you use them a little bit more on the ovals, and yeah, that's kind of the main thing. And of course, the driving part, which I've been doing some fixed races every week, trying to get better on the ovals a little bit, and then I'm probably going to be doing a little bit more of these long races for the ovals. Probably not so much the road courses. I'll probably skip those, but I probably want to focus a little bit more on the ovals this year, and get better at them driving wise and setup wise. So that's kind of my focus.
Yeah, we've been noticing you in the lineup for those Oval Series races that we cover, and we were happy to see you there. Any shout-outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone you want to say hi to with the win today?
Yeah, I don't think anyone supporting me is watching today, but if there is, thank you. And thanks to my new team, BS Competition, and then thanks to you guys for broadcasting the race.
Well, it's good to have you here. Congratulations on the win. We'll see you in a couple weeks if you're in the lineup for the Indy GP. Until then, best of luck, and we'll hope to see you more on the Oval broadcast.
Yep, for sure. See you guys.
And that is Jaden. Now into the channel here, Justin Petschauer, the ambassador of the IIS. How was your race down there in split 2 or 3?
It was split 3. It was chaotic, but I have breaking news. The guy that started on pole in our split did not win.
Oh, don't see that.
The guy that started next to me, 24th, went on to win.
Wow, you don't even see that real IndyCar racing. Wow.
No, but it was chaos. Much like what he said, for some reason, for me, it felt like both tires, the primary and the alternates, even if you were in like a tire save, fuel save mode, it's like there was no grip. But that's the streets of Long Beach for you. You try and find even the most minuscule amount of grip, and it doesn't exist. Other than that, I started 25th, literally shotgun on the field, and I finished 11th. I would have finished 10th, but there was a little bit of a miscommunication before going down past the entrance to the Long Beach Convention Center. But I'm just happy to at least get close to a top 10 finish, at least for Long Beach, because this is all about survival mode. I'm just going to take this. I'm going to run to the month of May for the Grand Prix of Indianapolis, and then essentially get myself ready for the open set Indy 500. And then at least a week or so vacation of heading towards the real Indy 500.
That's right. You
got
got
to be exciting. Yep. And at least I'll be under shade in case it gets hot or wet.
Oh, I've been there when it's been hot, and it just bakes you. And I've been there when it rains, and there's no worse places to be with all the humanity when it rains at the world's greatest race course at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It is awful there when it rains. So hopefully it doesn't rain when you're here. Yeah. Hopefully.
Fingers crossed. But other than that, another good result. Earl Barban said over the radio, well, that's embarrassing. It's like finishing 11th after starting shotgun on the field. I wouldn't call that embarrassing. Unless he was talking about the contact that happened earlier, then that kind of was. But like I said, that's Long Beach for you. Other than that, I need to, I'm going to go relax for a bit, put some electrolytes back in me and get me at least something to snack on to recover from the beatdown that is Long Beach.
All right. Well, best of luck on your finish, and we'll see you Tuesday night when you and I will be in the booth solo, because Lewis will have to we'll be covering the Freedom 100 for the Elite Racing League. You and I will be in the booth for let's see, what do we got coming up this Tuesday night? Oval Series at Kentucky. So 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. I'll see you then.
Yeah, at least there's not going to be a windstorm, unlike this past Tuesday night where it literally was it wasn't worth the risk in case the power went out.
Yeah, weather's been nuts. Well, we'll see you then on Tuesday, Justin.
Yep. Yeah, I'll have a good one.
Yeah. Ryan, final thoughts here. And actually, before I turn it over to you for final thoughts, I just didn't get a chance to really read the final stats here. Jaden Munoz does win over Christian Hilgard, Esteban Rodriguez third. Kevin Burrell, your points leader, is probably going to be your points leader for another race. He comes home fourth. JT Smeaton is in fifth. Mitch Welker sixth. Aiden Matisse in seventh. Lodato, Emmel, and Curry in 10th. Looks like we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 of Fiercely Ford or Fiercely Ford associated cars in the top 10 and 4 in the top 7. So a good day for them. That is in positions 2, 4, 6, and 7. And then a good shout out to Antonio's teammate, Jared Curry, for coming home in 10th. Then we see the rest of the field: Edwards, Craig, Thiessen, Beer, Zier, Berryman, Kurtz, Briteau, Manning, Ferg. Next page is Salamine, Kindren, Sophie, Hand, and Kaz, and that's your 25 car field. But final thoughts from you, Ryan. Take a time, anything you have before we were getting ready. We'll just do final thoughts from here, and then look forward to Indianapolis, where it's not the world's greatest race next, but the world's greatest race is right after that. But it's hard to get excited anytime you walk into through the tunnel in Indianapolis for the 500 or the Grand Prix. The excitement's starting to get there. But arguably second biggest race of the year here at Long Beach. Jade Munoz, dominant win, led them all. Unfortunately, didn't get the purple lap, so he didn't get the Grand Slam, but still a dominant day.
Yeah, absolutely. Jaden taking a well-deserved win, and like I mentioned after the race as well, it was there was some mayhem at the start of the race, but after that it quietened down, and there wasn't really much going on apart from the battle between Christian and completely forgot who else it was battling for second, but
Rodriguez.
Christian Rodriguez, that's the one. Christian coming home with second to take well-earned points and a well-deserved second place, but. Looking ahead to the month of May, it's my favourite month of the year when it comes to IndyCar. Just something about it gets me excited, and yeah, obviously we've got the road course up first, and then after that we've got in my opinion, the best layout of Indy, the oval, and yeah, really excited about it.
All right, and I'm right there with you, and you could really feel it here when you live in the area. The excitement start to build up, but tonight for everybody, because it's on the West Coast, tonight is the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach. It starts at 5:30, so really I think Long Beach leading into Indianapolis is probably a proper event because it just gets a lot of buzz and fans really excited about the biggest road race of the season, followed by getting to Indianapolis, and then the biggest race of the season at the 500. Only 2 races after this on the schedule. So let's give everyone back their Saturdays. Continue on with this great weekend that we're having here, and don't forget IndyCar qualifying is later tonight. So make sure to check that out. As we'll get on out of here and give everyone back the rest of their day. That's it for tonight, or for today. Once again, your podium here from Long Beach is Jade Munoz, becoming the 5th different winner in 5 top split races this season. Gets the win. Christian Hogard second, Esteban Rodriguez in third. And that second and third, that's going to have criticality in the points championship because they finish ahead of Kevin Burrell, who came home 4th. But again, consistency seems to be paying off right now for Kevin. He should still be the points leader at the end of this weekend for the IIS as we go to Indianapolis next. Join us again in 3 weeks. Saturday, actually, it's going to be Friday, May 8th. Friday, May 8th. Double check that real quick on the calendar. Friday, May 8th. Friday, May 8th, yes. I'm not telling anybody anything wrong. And actually, we already have it already on the channel. You can hit the button now and then notify yourself. It's already there for the next upcoming race. But Friday, May 8th, at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, round 6 of the 2026 campaign. Teams and drivers. Well, we're going to begin the month of May with the NDGP. Coverage starts at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, that's 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:00. So it's late in the workday, almost still in the workday for some people here on the East Coast. I don't tell my boss. I'm going to take PTO for this one, Ryan.
Yeah, I won't say anything.
Thank you. But 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Right here on the channel, youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Hey, we love bringing these races to you. They're not easy, require time and money to produce. If you share a passion for the sport of IndyCar and enjoyed our coverage of the IndyCar iRacing Series Top Split broadcast, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. Link is in the description, and donate to our 2026 broadcast fund. Link is also pinned in chat. We realize times are tough. Believe me, I've seen the cost of gas here lately. So any contribution would be greatly appreciated. We thank you for watching and making it part of your YouTube viewing during NTT IndyCar race weeks, whenever that might be. Now, as you know, YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thought of today's race, and if you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing a like on the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so miss out on more P1's other iRacing programming, including tomorrow. It's a Dark Horse Racing's DW12 Series at Texas. Check Dark Horse out this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on P1. P1's IndyCar iRacing Series Saturday's top split coverage presented to you by 4D Racewear. Check out their line of made-for-sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them at 4dracewear.com or click on the link in the description. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook. You can follow them on X and Instagram. All the links you need are in the description. for business inquiries. To learn more about P1 and what we do, like us on Facebook. You can follow us on X and Instagram, and you can also follow all of our social links on Linktree. You can check those out in the description as well. So for El Patron, Antonio Estrada, Ryan Skywalker, everyone here at 4D Racewear and at P1, I'm Gary Gotzo saying all, thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military, especially those in the skies and the seas in the Middle East, and those as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Make sure to catch the real stars and cars of the NTT IndyCar Series tomorrow, April 19th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Remember, it's an East Coast or West Coast race. This is going to have a late start on the East Coast, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach. You can follow all the action on your local Fox affiliate, on the Fox app. If you're outside the United States, you can catch us on the IndyCar, or watch us with us on the IndyCar Live app. Or just join us old school style with Mark James, who's going to be the Grand Marshal of the Elite Racing League's Indy 500 coming up on Thursday. He's going to issue the starting command for the field. But Mark James and the gang on IndyCar Radio, the voice of the 500, on Sirius Channel 218. So be sure to check your local listings for the correct broadcast times and stations in your area. You can catch us again in 3 weeks, May 8th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time in Indianapolis for the next race of the iRacing IndyCar Series, which will be Friday, special edition Friday top split right here on P1. We'll see you and enjoy watching the real IndyCar race later today when they qualify in the race tomorrow. See you, everybody. Thanks for joining us.